I sound like a broken record when I talk about Ubisoft because they have canceled so many games over the years, fired so many employees, and made so many bad experiences. But now we're actually hearing a lot of information about the future of Assassin's Creed because apparently they are getting so desperate that they're putting Black Flag leaders in charge of the series. But to top all of that off, we also know that Assassin's Creed Hex, what is rumored to be the gayest Assassin's Creed yet, has lost its director. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, Ubisoft is in a very bad state, and back in 2024, when we heard this rumor circulating that Assassin's Creed Hex would be the gayest Assassin's Creed yet, none of us were really surprised because of how bad the series has gotten, but they might be taking Hex in a new direction as they have fired the director. So this information has just broken today, but the news was shared with staff this week in an internal meeting helmed by the Assassin's Creed franchise's newly announced leadership team. The development on Hex would continue without Hawking, Ubisoft said, and the new head of content for the Assassin's Creed brand will take over the project as creative director, and he had previously directed Assassin's Creed Origins and Assassin's Creed Black Flag. So right now, they are trying to put a lot of notable names in the lead, and this isn't very shocking because we know that the creative house venture with Tencent is underway. They are doing major shakeups, and really, they are trying to put anybody in charge that might be able to make them money because Assassin's Creed should be making them $1 billion per entry into this series. It should be an easy win for them, and with Assassin's Creed Shadows, it doesn't sound like that happened because they haven't really boasted about sales numbers or player numbers. The only figure we have heard is that they had hit 5 million players, but that could also have the Ubisoft Plus subscribers a part of it, which is why nobody trusts the player numbers that companies boast about. And really, it just looks like this game didn't do good. They can sit here and say that it performed well all they want, but until we see actual figures, take it with a grain of salt. But now we are finding out that Hex seems to be potentially going in a different direction. And when you lose someone in such an important role like a creative director, that could mean major changes. We have heard that apparently Assassin's Creed Hex was in a state of development hell, that it wasn't going the way that they wanted, that maybe they were not making the progress as quickly as Ubisoft hoped. And sure, there could be a world in which Assassin's Creed Hex comes out and does well, but if it is true that it is the gayest Assassin's Creed yet, it's not going to be a pretty picture. This rumor was circulating back in October 2024, but according to Endymion and his Ubisoft insiders, the next Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed Hex, will be the gayest yet. In the above video, he shared, "I was told that the next Assassin's Creed, which is called Hex, which is set during the Salem witch trials, was being internally claimed, and get this, to be the gayest yet. I'm told that it only has a single female protagonist, and it's also the most fantastical Assassin's Creed yet. There will be lots of mysticism and will also have, as they said, very striking visuals. I don't know if that means an entirely different art style or anything, but this is what I was told." And this does sort of fall in line with the direction that Ubisoft had been taking the franchise, and we got Assassin's Creed Shadows, which controversially featured Yasuke as a playable figure who was a samurai, which isn't as historically accurate as they claim the game was. We know that they did cancel another Assassin's Creed game with a black lead, and now we are hearing about this. Could they, let's just say for argument's sake, de-gayify it? Could they actually turn this into a good story? Maybe, but when you were talking about a playable female protagonist and it's set during the Salem witch trials, It does sound like they want to go in the women are being wronged, women are being mistreated, and this main character as a woman would be a massive victim. And hey, I'm not sitting here and saying that, oh my gosh, everything about the Salem witch trials was dramatized, but it is a sticking point for modern day feminists as a major example of a historical period when women were wronged. It says, though, as for why it will likely get scaled down, he said mostly because Ubisoft doesn't have the confidence that Hex will sell well at all. And this too was put in development when a lot of these panderings were first being pitched or made internally. As I was being told, the developers behind Hex joked that the game was indeed to piss off the fan base, but they wanted to make it anyway. And this is unfortunately a tale as old as time. At this point, we do hear of a lot of studios and developers who want to make something that is going to be controversial, and they want to sort of right the wrongs of the industry's past, and they want to try to bring in a new modern audience. But as a woman myself who plays video games and who has loved Assassin's Creed in the past, so I should be the target audience for this, there is no shot that I would find any interest in this, that I would actually want to play this type of game. And well, I don't think a lot of other people are going to want to play this either. When you specifically create something to push a narrative, it's not very good. But looping back to the story now, yes, losing a director for a game this apparently deep into development is a very bad look, and it could mean a complete reboot and them changing their plans. Now, there are quite a few gamers who are laughing at this, saying, wow, the most gay Assassin's Creed ever might be canceled. I'm going to totally shed a tear. And there are some people in the comments saying Ubisoft needs to stop firing people, the few very big fans that they have left. But I personally think that we should continue to watch them burn. I do not think that Ubisoft in its current state is worth saving, and I just don't have any interest in any of their upcoming projects. They are canceling a lot of games, as I was showing when I started the video. This is their timeline of canceled games. Over the years, there have been over a dozen, and Hex could potentially be added to that list. If this game actually has been in development since 2022 and it's nowhere near done, and they're going through this major leadership shakeup, maybe they scrap half the game and then it will add a few more years. Maybe they will just be intentional about dialogue that they're deleting, characters that they're changing, or they could also shelve this and say, you know what, we need to go back to the drawing board. Regardless of what happens, though, I would have no trust or faith in Ubisoft to do good by this amazing franchise. I do not think that anybody at this company right now is who should be running the show. And in the case of Ubisoft putting the Black Flag leaders in charge of Assassin's Creed, yes, I do agree that 2013's Black Flag was phenomenal. It was amazing, but people change. And it's been 13 years since Black Flag came out. The industry has massively changed in 13 years. And so they, in my opinion, have not really proven themselves enough. Yeah, some of them did work on something like Assassin's Creed Origins, which also was viewed as a very positive game. But I need to see what they plan to do now before I judge and say, you know what, Ubisoft can be saved. So I will be keeping a close eye on, of course, this company, their plans for the future, and well, maybe Assassin's Creed Hex, the gayest Assassin's Creed ever, could potentially be canceled. We might be getting that announcement soon. Ubisoft is desperate for the series to make money again. They're putting the Black Flag and Origins leaders in charge of Assassin's Creed, which could be good, but we won't know if that's the case for years and years. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.